So today we're looking at the Trekmates Argyll Gaiter, and I've owned a pair of these now for, well, a good few months, and so far they've proved to be a good walking outdoor companion. They are a little bit different to the Cairngorm Gaiter that I've owned for a while now. They're a double layer fabric construction, and you've got the waterproof membrane beneath this nylon outer. So what's the reason behind that? The reason behind that, there's a few reasons, I guess. Firstly is noise. These are a very quiet gaiter. You often get with Gore gaiters, like Gore anything, this really loud rustling, and with these you certainly don't get that. You can see they're okay, yeah, you can feel it, you can hear maybe a little bit of something, but in actual practical use you never hear them. The other advantage, I think, to this kind of double layer system is that the outer protects the inner from things like thorns. I use them for my bushcraft practice, so I use them as a teaching gaiter, and that's one of the things that initially attracted me to them. I thought, you know what, I think they'll go down really well for tracking and for quiet stealth work. And the other thing, I just thought that they had a sort of a nice feel to them, a nice handle to them, so it's the kind of thing that I could wear literally all day and not really have to think about. So let's have a look at the actual practicalities of it, and now I'll talk about how I found them in use. So the design is not breaking any molds, but it is a classic design, very, again, similar to the Cairngorm Gaiter. We've got elastic where we need it, so at the area where the cuff is of the top of your boot or around that area, and elastic at the back. We've got the classic strap on the bottom, and this is using the newer, really hard-wearing mini strap that I think people tend to misunderstand in a gaiter. I often get asked in the shop, you know, is that durable? Well, the Cairngorm now I've had for a couple of years, and I've used it a lot, to be fair, and it's not, you wouldn't guess it from the strap. You can get replacement straps, but I having used gaiters for many years, being a gaiter fan, I think that the nylon, the thicker webbing type straps were actually more vulnerable. They may have looked like they were going to be more durable, but in fact they weren't. So that, I don't think, is a weakness people think it is. And once you get that cinched into position well, it holds the gaiter very well in position lower down. And that's when that elastic comes into its own, because then that creates the seal on the back of the boot that stops, or at least helps to stop the water, if you're going deep, coming up underneath the gaiter. So at the top we have this buckle and a fairly generous in terms of width strap. Often you get elastic on here. These obviously aren't elasticated, the strap's not elasticated. So again, I did think, well, is that going to be an issue? No, because of the thickness of the strapping itself and this nice buckle and the adjustability of it, you can actually get it so it sits nicely on the back of the calf, which certainly does on my calf anyway. And what you don't get, what you sometimes do get with the elasticated, is like that line that you get because you've over tightened them. So we have a double fastening, we've got the classic Velcro, and we've also got that backed up by a zip. And yeah, the zip's a good chunky zip. I can't see that being an issue in sort of longevity and things like that. And then we've got the metal hook to hook into your lace on your boot, and again, really well put together, bit of hardware there, and again, no issues there. Not much to show on the inside, really. And on the zip, again, what you've got there is it really well double stitched into place. This is a strong gaiter, I think. I think it's going to be one that's going to last. So there's your elastic on the inside, and that's where the waterproof membrane is, this side. And the idea behind that is, as I said, is that this is stopping the really bad ingress of water. Now, as you can see from the footage, I've used these in pretty horrible muddy conditions because it has been wet this autumn, and as you can see from the footage, the water just kind of fell off the outer, and I had a lot of confidence that they were going to protect me from the mud and the water and the mess, keep my trousers dry and stop anything from getting in the top of my boot. Now, the outer nylon does have a water-resistant coating, but that's nothing new. This jacket has, most jackets, anything that's waterproof, in fact, has what we call a DWR. Now, if you want to maintain that, you wash these in a DWR-containing washer. So I've used Nikwax with mine, and it's fine. It works really well, in fact. Here's an interesting little feature. The fact that they've actually got a left and right. They are actually left and right gaiters. It's where the Velcro fastening goes across so you don't catch it and open it by rubbing and things like that. So this just helps you decide which one's which and you don't go out with the wrong foot on. Nice little touch. So in practical use, how have I found them? Yeah, very breathable actually. I was a bit concerned with the double fabric and the fact that the gaiter waterproof was next to the skin, so to speak, or next to the trouser. There might be a bit of a moisture build up there. Now, while I haven't used them in a mountain hard day, I have used them on a very long walk coming from the whole of Hawkham, a beautiful area, all the way back home, and they really did look after me, and I didn't get the moisture build up that I was expecting on that day. The other thing I like about them as well, as we've already alluded to, is the noise situation. It just isn't a gaiter that you're aware of wearing. I think often you get the sort of Gore-Tex crunch factor, and with these you certainly don't. When I've been tracking out, looking for animal sign and seeing if we can latch onto a deer and go and see if we can follow them, they've been really quiet, and I think that's a really nice element. So anyone who's into the photography, the nature photography, anyone who's into the bushcraft, anyone who's into stalking field sports, these gaiters will really look after you in the sense of the noise. The nylon outer, again, doesn't seem to snag too badly. I mean, any fabric will snag in the end on the right thorn, but it's not something that I particularly notice. They come in 3 different fittings as well, 1, 2 and 3, 1 being the smallest, 3 being the largest. This is a 3. I'm 6 foot tall. I've got relatively long legs and I find this a really good fit for myself, but I think the thing to do is to go to your stockist locally and actually try them on and have a go and see which fits you on the calf. So yeah, they're proving themselves to be a useful gaiter. I've enjoyed using them, and I think they're going to be a go-to item for me to some time. Certainly for my bushcraft practice, certainly for my forest walking, which I really enjoy, certainly for my tracking, certainly for my animal watching. That's going to be the thing I'm going to be going to. So yeah, definitely a thumbs up, and recommend it, definitely.